Hello everyone and welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. If you couldn't tell by watching the last episode, that was legitimately the very first game I have played on College Football 25. And I think all I did was prove that I was absolutely buns, because we kind of got cooked by Maryland. And Maryland is a team that on paper is not that much better than us. But I've been practicing a little bit since that episode released, and I can assure you that I will be better going forward. To start this episode, we do have more coach points, and the only thing we can dump them into right now is recruiter. So currently, just about everything except for halfback and wide receiver is a big need, but we do need tight ends. We need offensive line pretty bad, and I think especially we need defensive line, so I am going to put 5 points into advanced look for DL, and I'm going to do the same for linebacker. I did some more recruiting and I also sorted our recruiting board. It's not in any particular order, but it is by stars and players I am most interested in. Paul Townsell is very quickly approaching being fully recruited by UConn. Syracuse and Boston College are the only teams that are really close, and they're not all that close. He is a gem cornerback with 83 man coverage and 94 speed. Looks like he is a truly fantastic corner that could help us maybe day one. We're also the #1 guy for Barry Wright, and he just looks like a very solid D tackle, a position that we are obviously losing a lot of players in. I finished scouting Sterling Walters, who is an athlete, but looks like he is going to be a quarterback primarily. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but it is relatively accurate, and he is extremely fast. So even if he isn't a quarterback, we can find ways to involve him in the offense. We are currently only 4th on his board though, but we are sending the house this week, and I think we'll make a big jump. Marco Portilla is a right end I'm very interested in. He is also a gem. 78 speed, 83 acceleration for an edge rusher is quite good. He's pretty strong with decent tackling. He's just a decent player. And then Joey Terrell is a guy that I am very interested in as well. We are currently leading, but not by much, over Penn State. He is also a 3-star gem, but this time a middle linebacker instead of an edge rusher. He has 91 speed at the middle linebacker position, which is elite. Bobby Ware is a guy we're competing for, a left tackle. Offensive line is a big need for us. David Bliss is another edge rusher, but Boston College has a huge lead on him. Depending on how the next week goes, we may remove him from the recruiting board, but we have scheduled a visit for week 6, so we will probably wait until then at the very least to remove him. And then anyone we haven't offered a scholarship to yet, either A, we don't have enough points to do so, or they aren't at a position of need, like wide receiver and fullback. By the way, I forgot to mention it in week #1, but Georgia Tech has upset Florida State, winning 24-21. And also USC was able to beat LSU, though that one was pretty even, less of an upset. And FCS Midwest upset Appalachian State. Also, I did not do this in the last episode, but we can set our red shirts for the season. Basically, I went through and redshirted any freshmen that weren't gonna get a lot of playing time. I left basically all the juniors, seniors, and sophomores alone. There's not a lot of freshmen on this team. It was only a total of 6 freshmen that got redshirted, and I believe those were all of the true freshmen on the roster. Someone in the comments of episode 1 suggested putting Victor Rosa as the starting halfback. I don't hate the idea. I do love a good speed back, but it seems like he's getting used a lot anyway. So at the moment, I don't want to change the depth chart just yet. Would also be interested in getting Darrell Robinson involved maybe a little bit, as he is a redshirt freshman with a lot of promise. Also, if you didn't see it, there is a chance we will lose Victor Rosa to the transfer portal this year, as his deal breaker is coach prestige. We only have C coach prestige. He needs at least a B-, so he might be leaving. It'd be unfortunate, but it wouldn't entirely break my heart with Darrell Robinson on his way up. I might run some formation subs to get Lewis Hansen in more often, just because he is faster. He also has a deal breaker of coach prestige. Looks like I need to get my prestige up. A number of guys have a deal breaker of brand exposure, which currently we have at C, and we need B-. We would lose 2 of our top corners. Welcome back, everyone, to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. This one will go out of the... Actually, it will not go out of the back of the end zone, but we'll take a knee in the end zone and start from the 25. I appreciate all the support on the first episode, and if you're new here, go ahead and hit that sub button. It does help me out a lot. We're shooting for 10K subs by the end of the year. I think we can do it. Victor Rosa in the backfield with Nick Evers. And it will be a handoff to Rosa, who runs into a lineman and gets maybe a yard. First home game of the year for the Huskies as we're back to throw. And I did change the passing back to revamped passing. I used placement for the majority of game number 1 as I hadn't learned the game yet. Now that I've played a bit more, I like the revamped passing a lot, and I will be using that going forward. Handoff Victor Rosa on the next play. Block kind of pushed the defender into him. And not a huge gain in injury for the Astronauts. 2nd and 7 from the 43. We're back to throw again. Stepping up in the pocket is Evers. Room to run down the field, and he'll slide down past the midfield marker down at the 44. For perspective, this FCS East team is rated, I think, 67 overall. We are, I believe, a 76. So we should be winning this game, hopefully, as we'll try to get that to the tight end. It's Nick Harris, and he'll go out of bounds. A great play by Nick Evers. 1st and 10 from the 29. Back to pass again, and we'll dump this off to Victor Rosa, who turns upfield, gets a good block from the tight end there, and it's a touchdown for the Huskies. Victor Rosa takes it to the house, and the Huskies get on the board first. The passing game looking very solid throughout that drive. And it's 6-0 UConn. FCS East is quarterbacked by Brock Ladler, who is a scrambler quarterback. He's quite fast, even a bit faster than Nick Evers. That'll be a pickup for O'Neal. Their best player is easily their halfback in Dorial O'Neal, but it looked like he's maybe playing through an injury. He had a lot of negatives to his attributes, and he gets a carry here. It didn't affect him on that play. Now they're at the 38. They run this kind of weird formation where the running back is down in the backfield, and down goes the quarterback Ladler. Julian Simon on the play. Now it's 2nd and 13 for the Astronauts. Let's see if we can make yet another stop. Man in motion. Crowd's starting to get a little bit hyped, and O'Neal goes down as well. So that'll make it 3rd down and a long 12. And Ladler is back to pass, has time downfield, finds his man, caught, and he holds on through the hit. 1st down, Astronauts. So a wasted opportunity for the defense there as FCS East keeps it moving. Dorial O'Neal goes down at the 42. So another 3rd down opportunity for the Huskies to get a stop. Under pressure immediately is Ladler, but he finds the tight end up the seam, and it's another 1st down, and now they're inside the 20. 1st and 10 from the UConn 19. Defense not playing well so far today as O'Neal goes down, a pickup of 2. A flag down on the next play. Looks like it was probably a false start. It is. FCS East will back it up. Evidently, these FCS teams are not easy outs. There's a number of teams that got upset by them last week. Is it our turn to have that happen to us? O'Neal up the gut. Gets 1 more yard. It's 3rd and 7. 3rd down, 7 to go. Look at this weird formation. It's not one I've seen before. And they will hand it off to O'Neal, who gets the running room he needs. And it's a 1st and goal for the Astronauts. Every time we bring them to a 3rd down, they manage to convert. As now Ladler is back to pass. Rolling to his left. Back corner, end zone, intercepted by the safety, Malik Dixon-Williams. Getting involved, the senior picks off Ladler in the end zone, and we hold the Astronauts to 0 on this drive. A great play from the senior Malik Dixon-Williams saves the defense from giving up any points. So we'll go to the air here, and that falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Handoff to Victor Rosa. Huge lane up the middle. Tries to juke it back to the outside, and he's near midfield before he goes down. And there's an injury on the play for the Astronauts, but UConn's to the 47. 2:45 left in the first. Handoff Cam Edwards for the first time today. He's got a huge lane to the right side. He's to the 20. He's to the 10. Nobody's gonna stop him. Touchdown, UConn. The offense did not look nearly this potent against a very good Maryland defense. But hey, when we're playing a bad defense like FCS East, we can pop off, it appears. Cam Edwards, his first touch on the day, goes for 50 and gets 6 points on the board. Bad starting field position on this next drive for the Astronauts, starting from their own 13. Man in motion. They always run this weird formation. It's O'Neal on the carry, gets 3 yards. They appear to love the running game, but they don't use the quarterback in it at all, despite the quarterback having really good speed. He has 84 speed, which is excellent for a quarterback, but who needs that when you've got Dorial O'Neal, who gets way down the field? But there's a flag down, and it's going to be on the Astronauts, it looks like, so this one is coming back. An illegal block in the back. They do still get some of that yardage, but it brings them to the 31. Our run defense was very strong last week against Maryland, but has not been as good today. But now their star running back, Dorial O'Neal, will go down with an injury. If you're curious about the Astronauts depth chart, here is their quarterback, Brock Ladler. He has a lot of negatives actually today, must be the wear and tear system. And here is Dorial O'Neal. Honestly, a pretty good player. 76 overall is the same as Victor Rosa, I believe. Jarvis May is not that much worse, and he is the guy who should be coming in to replace O'Neal after that injury. It is indeed Jarvis May, so they don't have a bad backfield here at this FCS East team, and it will be a handoff to May immediately, really nowhere to go. He picks up a yard. Now it's 3rd and 9, and we know that they have converted third downs very easily throughout this game so far. Will they be able to do so again? Pass downfield, caught, and running away with it is the Astronauts player, pushed out of bounds near the 20, but another huge play given up on 3rd down. On 1st and 2nd down, our defense is elite. On 3rd down, we're one of the worst in football, as we will watch a handoff to May, and once again, on 1st down, very strong. On 2nd and 10, will they go to the ground again? No, they'll actually let it go to the end of the 1st. Huskies find themselves with a 2-touchdown lead at the end of the 1st quarter. It'll be 2nd down and 10 to start the 2nd quarter, and it is a fake handoff down the field, caught by the wide receiver, and it's going to be 1st and goal for FCS East. Last time they were down here, though, they did throw that pick to Malik Dixon-Williams. Will they do it again? Ladler on the carry for the quarterback. Designed QB run there. The first one we've seen today doesn't do much. That gains maybe a yard. They've got this strange formation in the backfield. 3 backs, 1 up the gut, diving over the top, and it's a touchdown for the Astronauts. Not wanting to be outdone on the ground, they kept it going all throughout the drive, and they punch it in. That was a really fun animation, him diving over the top. This game has been excellent so far. 1st and 10, UConn. Offense has had no problem moving the ball today. Rosa in motion. It's a jet touch pass to him. Great blocks down the field. Can he get one more? He does. More running room for Victor Rosa, pushed out of bounds at the enemy 35. Victor Rosa and the elite speed. Great blocking down the field. What a combo. After the passing play, it's 1st and 10 from the 15. And we will go to Cam Edwards on the ground, lane up the middle. Tries to juke it back to the outside, but does get 7 yards. 3rd and 3. Evers back to pass. Wants his man Buckman, and he holds on even through the contact. 1st and goal, UConn. I'm telling you guys, once you get used to the revamped passing, you won't want to go back. It is so smooth. We go to the end zone. Touchdown. It's Brett Buckman again. And the Huskies keep it going offensively. Absolutely dominant so far today. Why are there so many empty seats in our home opener? I love the fact that this game has a dynamic attendance. The Huskies suck. I wouldn't want to go to a UConn Huskies football game either. We got to prove to the Husky faithful that the football team is worth watching. And I think so far the offense at the very least has been worth watching today. The defense not so much. But maybe we can get it going on this drive. 2nd and 10. Ladler under center. And it will be a quarterback run. And he did not pitch it. It looked like that was an option play, but he chose to keep it. So we're in another 3rd down situation. And they've had a very easy time converting these so far today. By the way, O'Neal is back in the game. Under some pressure is Ladler running and sliding down at the 30. And this will be the first time they'll punt it away today. What an awful punt. as this one hits a UConn player and is recovered by FCS East. It had to have been planned. Surely the punter planned that awful of a punt so that we would hit the ball back into them. That had to have been a calculated measure. So now the Astronauts take back over on offense. It's an option play pitched out to the running back. Not familiar with which running back that is, but he's tackled down after a pickup of 5. McKelvin Jr. Well, what an interesting turn of events. I thought we were going to get the chance to turn this one into a blowout. Instead, it stays very much in play for the Astronauts to get back into this. 3rd and 1. 4.5 minutes left to play here in the first half, as they've got a man in motion, and it goes to him, and he goes down. And there's an injury for the Astronauts on this play as well. A loss of a yard, and the Huskies will hopefully take back over on offense this time, assuming the punt goes far enough down the field. At this point, I'm not confident, so I am actually commentating the punt. Typically, I do not commentate these. It's going to happen again, isn't it? Please just catch the football. Thank you very much. And down goes Sheffield. The punter for FCS East isn't even that bad. He's a 72 overall. He has 88 kick power and 74 kick accuracy. Why are his punts sucking? UConn finds themselves back on offense as we try to get this one to Victor Rosa, but really nowhere to go. A pickup of 1. 2nd and 9 from our own 36. It'll be a handoff. Cam Edwards, room to run. A great block down the field by TJ Sheffield, the senior wideout. It didn't end up amounting to a whole lot due to the fact that Cam Edwards got chased down by a couple other defenders. But this is excellent blocking from TJ Sheffield, our star wideout. 1st and 10 from the enemy 44. It's play action. And we're lobbing one up down the field, nearly caught by a diving Brett Buckman, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. We'll go to the ground with Victor Rosa, a lane up the middle, and he goes down after a short gain. Makes it a more manageable 3rd down and 4, though, as we'll go to the air with Nick Evers. We've got a man over the middle, and it's caught by Brett Buckman. Goes down at the 20, fresh set of downs for UConn, and we approach the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 inside of 2 minutes from the 20. And we'll go over the middle, finding Buckman again, fights for extra yardage, goes down inside the 10, it's 1st and goal. I really do want to get TJ Sheffield more involved, but I don't like any of his routes. Maybe we need to move him to be a slot wide receiver instead of like the X wide receiver. On 1st and goal from the 9, we'll go to the air again, and Victor Rosa is pretty open there on the right. Easy check down gets us to the 3. 2nd and goal from the 3. Play action. We'll look to throw. We've got the wide open tight end, Lewis Hanson. Touchdown UConn yet again. The offense having 0 troubles so far today. So let's see if the Astronauts can find their way down the field. Finally, they're not in that weird formation, and they will immediately get a 1st down, but an injured offensive lineman. That does not burn one of their timeouts like it does in the NFL, which is honestly a nice change. I'd prefer if the NFL was like that. 48 seconds left, over the middle again. I think that was the exact same play, and they do use their 1st timeout. Based off of how well their punter was kicking, I can't imagine their kicker is that much better. So I think keeping them at a long field goal range would essentially keep them off the board, as this will be a check down that goes out of bounds. 40 seconds left. Ladler, kind of by himself in the backfield. He has one man to his left, but looks to throw. Not a lot of time. Gets the throw off and completed anyway, and they'll burn their 2nd timeout. Slowly but surely, we're getting rid of those timeouts. They are moving down the field, getting close to NFL field goal range. Like I said, I don't trust their kicker to make a kick like that. Ladler will take off to run, though, and slides down. Well played by the quarterback. Under 30 seconds left, now down to 25 seconds. They do still have the last timeout. Ladler stepping up in the pocket. He'll take off to run again, and I think they're definitely in field goal range here, and they'll use that last timeout. Man, if Ladler just runs on every play, we don't know how to stop him. As he's under center here, 17 seconds left. No more timeouts. Ladler, left side, incomplete, just throwing that one away. Really just hoping to keep them out of the end zone. I don't mind a field goal here. A touchdown really would suck. Ladler to throw, running out of time over the middle and too high for his target. 9 seconds left. Time for one more passing attempt from Ladler, and he throws it away again. And now on 4th and 10, they're going to attempt a field goal. Their punter did not inspire a lot of faith in their kicking ability. Their field goal kicker, however, seems to be pretty good, as that one is in. And that brings us to halftime. UConn up 28-10. I do believe that we start with the football in the second half. Rushing game has been working very, very well. Passing game has been working very, very well. The offense has been working very, very well. I'm a little concerned about the showing from the defense. I know they've only allowed 10 points total, but I think that is mostly just FCS East shooting themselves in the foot. I don't think the defense has played particularly well, and I think that especially when the quarterback runs, we've been struggling to get stops. I lied. We most definitely do not start with the football in the second half. Also, can't brag too much about the team doing well against a team that we're supposed to do well against, as that's a great play by Stafford in the backfield. This is meant to be like a warm-up game here early in the season, so we're meant to be crushing FCS East. That's the whole point. Now 3rd down and 12, Stafford on fire, it looks like. Haven't seen that symbol before. As back to pass is Ladler, and I think that was set up to be a screen. He kind of just spikes it into the ground. Will the punt be terrible once again? 4th and 12, punt on its way out. That's not that bad. Roughing the kicker on the Huskies. I've seen a number of comments saying that roughing the kicker just happens way too often. I tend to agree. I might turn that penalty off just because it's a little too frequent. Or if there's a slider, I may turn it down a bit as the Astronauts get a fresh life here on offense. They're now using, I think, their fullback as their primary halfback in the backfield, and he goes down. Stafford was so quick into the backfield, he tackled the quarterback. Ladler probably going to the air here. A man to his left in the backfield, but is looking to throw indeed. Over the middle, finds his man. Good open field tackle, though, and now it's 4th and 2. And as long as we don't rough the kicker, we should be getting the ball back. But we do actually end up with the football this time. First offensive possession for UConn in the second half, as we will look to throw, and I just have to throw that away immediately. Blitzer got through easily. It's been an easy game on the ground, though, so we'll go back to it with Cam Edwards here. Room to run, tries to juke to the outside, doesn't work, but does get the first down. Lots of injuries today for the Astronauts. They just must be very tired. So we'll go over the middle to Brett Buckman, and it's another first down for the wide receiver. Take a look at the ticker down on the bottom. You might see some upsets down there. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 44. Man in motion, it's Victor Rosa, and it's a jet touch pass to him. Room to run. Great block downfield by a wide receiver again. It was Josiah Gathings this time. And I did learn it's pronounced Gathings, so I'll be making that change going forward, of course. Nick Evers back to throw. Wants the end zone. TJ Sheffield makes the grab. Touchdown, UConn. Nick Evers, he has a big arm. TJ Sheffield's very fast, and he gets a touchdown grab, his 2nd on the season. He had 1 catch, and it went for a touchdown in the first game. He has a 2nd catch, and it goes for a touchdown in the 2nd game. Maybe just every time he touches the ball, it goes for 6. 35-10 now, just picking on this FCS squad. And this will be a handoff and a cut up the middle. And down he goes after a pickup of 3. 2nd and 7. And it's another handoff to the fullback, and he goes nowhere. The rush defense really stepping up here in the second half. Now it's 3rd down and 7. Surely down by as much as they are. They go to the air here. No, it is an option. Pitched outside to the running back. Room to work with. Dixon Williams has to make the tackle, but it is a first down for the Astronauts. That is indeed their fullback, number 40. I just checked. Cooper York is his name. He's a 76 overall. He's not a bad player whatsoever. And he gets a carry here. Another injury to the O-line for the Astronauts. Yet to see any wear and tear or injuries for the Huskies. I imagine that they are coming sooner or later. We get into the backfield immediately, but it actually hurts us more than it helps us, as Cooper York goes for a good chunk of change. Now they're at midfield. No problems moving the football so far on this drive. And it's an option again. Quarterback going to keep it. Actually pitches it at the last second. McKelvin gets the ball and picks up 8. These option plays have been working pretty well for the Astronauts. Maybe they keep that up. We shall see. 2nd and 2. And it's a pitch out to one of the star running backs. I believe that's May. And he gets nothing. 3rd and 2. Time for a UConn Huskies stop. And they will be running it, and we do get the stop. 4th and 1, and they'll punt it from past midfield. That's always so demoralizing as an offense. I don't necessarily trust our team to not rough the kicker, though. Oh, there it is. That's hilarious. I actually called that. He dove right into his legs. So now FCS East is nearing the red zone. They're getting penalty yards off of roughing the kicker. They should just punt it all the time. They've punted 4 times. 3 of them have resulted in them getting the ball back. They obviously had that first punt that bounced off a UConn player, went right back to the Astronauts, and then 2 roughing the kicker calls. Definitely going to have to turn that penalty down. It happens so often. I don't think that one is a slider, though. I think that's just an on-off switch, so we'll probably just have to turn that off going forward. It definitely should not happen as frequently as it does over the middle. That is caught. 2nd and 2, 20 seconds left here in the 3rd. And it will be a handoff to McKelvin again. Cuts it back up the middle, just short of the 1st down. We've officially entered the 4th quarter. It's 35-10 in favor of UConn. This game feels pretty over. And they're not going to manage to score on 3rd and inches. A sack, 4th down and 8. That's outside linebacker Julian Simon on the sack. They are going for it, of course, on 4th and 8. Trying to make a late comeback. So they'll look to throw on this one. All kinds of time for Ladler, but it runs out, and it's intercepted by Spears. There's nothing but green in front of him. Past midfield, 40, 30, 20, 10, and it's a pick 6 for the UConn Huskies. 85 yards goes Zachary Spears. It looked like FCS East was gonna get a break. They got all the way down the field, but a bad decision to throw from Ladler and great positioning from Zachary Spears means that it is 6 more for the Huskies. We've officially got the backup offense in the game. This is redshirt freshman quarterback Tucker McDonald. On 3rd down and 3, he'll hand it off to Victor Rosa. I'm not sure why he's still managing to be in the game. Tucker McDonald is a sneaky good quarterback, by the way. He has incredibly similar ratings to Nick Evers, but his overall is quite a bit lower. I'm guessing his awareness and maybe play recognition and a few other things may be a bit lower. But he's got about the same throw power and about the same accuracies. He's even a little bit better throwing on the run. Very, very similar players. Could easily take over the offense, I think, if Nick Evers were to become injured. Darrell Robinson, the redshirt freshman running back, gets a carry and gets a 1st. But I think you get the point. Went ahead and super sim to the end of the game. The Huskies end up winning 49-17. An absolute blowout of the FCS East Astronauts. But like I mentioned earlier in the video, that is absolutely what we're supposed to do. We should be torching FCS teams, and we should not be playing as badly as we did against a team like Maryland. Maryland is a good football team. They're a Power 4 team for a reason, but they're one of the worst Power 4 teams around, so we should not be getting crushed as much as we were by them. If we take a look at stats, as for the team stats, we blew FCS East out of the water in pretty much every way. In fact, I think in every way. Oh, they had a better red zone percentage, I guess. If we take a look at player stats, look at Tucker McDonald, a 538 rating, had 2 completions on 2 attempts. One of them went for a touchdown. Nick Evers, 15 of 19, 220 yards and 4 touchdowns. Incredible day from both of the quarterbacks, but McDonald's sample size is obviously very, very small. Cam Edwards, 6 rushes for 98 yards and a touchdown. Very good day for him. Victor Rosa, 5 for 43. Rushing game was just working super well. Darrell Robinson got 3 carries for 21. Mel Brown got 2 carries for -1. Receiving, Buckman, 5 for 49 and a touchdown. Rosa, 5 for 94 and a touchdown. See, Rosa just gets way more involved in the passing game than Cam Edwards does, although Edwards did have 1 for 58 and a touchdown. This must have been the touchdown pass that McDonald got. Lewis Hansen with a touchdown grab. Sheffield with 1 catch, and it happens to go for a touchdown. So still, every time he touches the ball, it goes for 6. Defensively, Stafford led us in solo tackles, but it was Liam Fuller, the junior middle linebacker, who led us in total tackles with 12. TFLs, it was Jack Barton, the right end, got 4 of them. Jelani Stafford with 3, Price Yates with 2, Liam Fuller with 2, Famuina Brown with 1, and Julian Simon with 1, as well as Frank Briggs. We did get 2 sacks on the day, Price Yates with 1 and Julian Simon with the other. And of course, Malik Dixon-Williams with that pick early on in the game, and the pick 6 from the junior Zachary Spears. With that, we do also level up to level 3 as a head coach, and we can put some more points into recruiter. We could theoretically also unlock tactician or motivator, but for now, I think as the Husky head coach, you gotta just focus on getting recruits in and scouting them as much as possible. And I think for this one, we'll go defensive backs because corner and safety is a need for us. And we are also going to purchase the most influential for DBs because we do have Paul Townsell, that 4-star recruit that's close to committing to UConn, and we'd love to put that deal away. So here's the recruiting update. Paul Townsell has reached his top 5. Oh, wow, and we're not close to getting him anymore. The bar has dropped down significantly. We had it most of the way full, it felt like, just a week ago. Boston College and Syracuse also battling for him. Bobby Ware is down to his top 5. We are currently second to Northwestern, but it is very close. And Joey Terrell has us as his number 1 and has reached his top 8, but we're pretty far ahead on him. These are 3 guys I would really like to get. We're probably going to have to start sending the house to get a guy like Bobby Ware, who seems to really like Northwestern. Jack Barton earns the FBS Independent Defensive Player of the Week. That's not really saying much. There's 3 schools. One of them is Notre Dame, though, so I guess we played better defensively than Notre Dame did, or maybe they had a bye week. Cam Edwards is the Offensive Player of the Week for the FBS Independents as well. Speaking of that, how would you guys feel about conference changes going into next season? I'm thinking of making a brand new Pac-12, not of the same teams, but with like new teams and, you know, some of the same teams, probably a mix of the teams from the Mountain West. I think that UConn will probably join the American Conference, though I'm not certain yet. I think that I'll move some teams out of the ACC because the ACC is rumored to be losing teams like Florida State and Clemson. I think it could be fun, but let me know what you think. Arkansas able to upset number 24 ranked Oklahoma State in week number 2. UNC Charlotte upsetting UNC 42-32 is the final there. Colorado goes down to 0-2, losing to the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And I think their first loss was against an FCS school. It was indeed. They lost to FCS Northwest in week number 1. FCS Southeast beats Miami. These upsets are insane. Tulane beating Kansas State, who I think was ranked previously. Baylor upsets Utah. New Mexico State able to upset Liberty. Liberty is a very quality team. And those were kind of all of the most interesting upsets for week number 2. In week number 3, we'll face off against Duke. And if you're curious what they're rated, they are an 81 overall, which was the same as the Maryland Terrapins. And if how we played against them was any indication, this might not be pretty. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I do truly appreciate the continued support. Episode 1 of this is absolutely blowing up right now, which is so awesome to see. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I will see you guys in the next episode where we'll get some more recruiting done and we'll face off against Duke.